Today I received my replacement hood struts from AutoZone. This is a C95556, but in the pole itself it says 4694. I've used these on multiple Legends and they do the trick just fine. So I'll finally be able to ditch this PVC pipe. Now we can finally get better access to this engine bay, which includes needing to pull off this tattered insulation piece. Cleaned up. I'm not going to have any good luck finding a replacement insulation piece, but at least it's not fraying and dropping stuff all over the engine bay anymore. Also, not to mention it creates a fire hazard. Knowing that this car originally came from Seattle area, I called the dealer up there and they sent me a plate and a frame to go with it. Today is exhaust replacement day. We're doing a little bit of surgery here on the Legend sedan. This car is donating its exhaust to that car. They are both Sherwood green GS cars, but I'm going for a stock vibe on this one, so it's going to get the factory exhaust setup.
Is yours 16 on that side? Yeah.
Taking the Legend GS to the exhaust shop. I have the car loaded full of all the stock components to reinstall. I hope this is the last time I have to drive this sounding like this. So obnoxious. We are back in business today. I think it's time to get these seats removed in the Legend GS and dropped off at Trim Fit for a fresh coat of leather. Interior sufficiently gutted. I decided, in addition to having Naro reupholster the two front seats, I'll also have him work on the top portion. I think he can do just this panel. This is the seat back from the back seat that also has some cracking, as well as the headrest, which you can't see here. Dropping these things at Trim Fit. My temporary solution in here is to use a coupe seat. This is a spare two-door coupe seat. Unfortunately, the mounting points, to no surprise, are completely different. So this is going to be a very loose fitting thing for now, just to move the car around the yard and stuff like that. But at least there's a placeholder until the other original seats are back from upholstery. Unfortunately, I had an issue with this door where I opened it and it made contact with the fender. For some reason, from one day to the next, this gap became a little bit too narrow, and so I'm going to be sourcing a new fender to replace that one. Good thing the car hasn't gone in for body work yet, because that's just one more thing we will add to the list. This windshield's a mess. Not only does it have the glass spots, but it also has been caked up with gunk over the years. And the trim is destroyed as well. And now I know why the battery went dead. These Legends have a little pedal stopper pad underneath the brake pedal that is I don't know, it basically tells the system when the brakes are on or not. And in this heat, to no surprise, it disintegrated. So the car has been parked with its brake lights on all night. No wonder the battery is toast. So I have that replacement piece already. They're like, you know, 3 or 4 bucks, so I'll get that fixed up and we'll be good to go. New windshield looks awesome. I had him intentionally leave the trim off here on the sides and the bottom because I'm gonna refinish that. So one small step forward on this restoration. Today I'm dropping it off to have these wheel studs replaced. So a couple of these were so buggered up that you couldn't even get the lug nuts on. So that's getting taken care of tomorrow morning. Just about have the 94 GS ready to go for paint. I did notice, and I wanted to acknowledge, that this car will turn 30 years old next month. Its manufacture date was September of 1993, shown in the top corner of the sticker there. So happy 30th birthday to this car as it goes into the shop here just as I'm filming this a couple weeks before early September. And a lot of stuff loaded up in the trunk for them to work with, as well as inside the car. So here's the replacement front left fender that came from a donor special edition at the junkyard. There's a factory spoiler over there. This is obviously still the placeholder coupe seat that shouldn't even be in there. I went ahead and removed all the peripheral stereo wiring. I have a new set of headlights and corner lights that will go in to replace the existing very yellow and also clear corner ones. Couple of options for side view mirrors for the driver's side because that one has an issue where it sort of self folds. So this is the relay and harness for the spoiler. Other than that, we're going to approach this kind of like we did the coupe, where I'll probably end up doing an aftermarket seal here around the back window, which means the glass has to come out first, and it'll be a little bit wider gasket that goes over the top here. I was pretty happy with how that last one turned out. These moldings will probably just, I may plasti dip or paint them at a later date. The current state of the windshield wipers is removed because I'm going to refinish those as well as the arms. The windshield has been replaced already. So it still doesn't look like much. As a matter of fact, it looks pretty gross, but this car, give me a few months with it and we'll make something of it. The other thing I'm trying to figure out right now is, do I need a completely new replacement door? This window consistently rolls up outside its track and kind of bunches up the molding here. You can see the pillar here is actually pulled out a little bit and warped. So it just makes that window fold it right here, and then it starts going up outside the track. So I don't know, I'm gonna let the body shop give me some feedback on whether this can be reused, or otherwise I know of a local legend at the salvage yard that has a pretty good complete door that looks like the window's pretty decent. So more to come on that. After a quick wash, today is the day the 94 GS goes in for paint. I'm gonna drop this thing along with the trunk full of parts at Apex Wet Works, the same folks who painted several other cars for me, including a Legend in this exact same color, Sherwood Green Pearl. So I'm excited to see how this thing turns out. It is very rough, but I've seen the magic that those guys can work, and I have no doubt in my mind this car will look phenomenal when it's finished up. I'll get a little up close and personal with the areas that are specifically of concern here. Going to be my last shot with the 94 GS getting dropped here for paint at Apex, and obviously there's a bunch of stuff getting installed at the same time, including the back spoiler, the replacement headlights and corner lights. I'll kind of hold tight on windshield trim. I'm going to do that separately with a universal gasket most likely on the back, and then we'll reuse the existing but refinished trim on the front up here to go around that new windshield. I do have the windshield wipers already out to be refinished. We'll keep the very nice factory fog lights installed. refinish the grille. After I do the paint work, and this fender obviously will get replaced, the wheels and tires will go for refinishing. They look good from a distance, but if you get closer, these are very corroded. They have some peeling of the clear coat, so that'll get addressed at a later time. There's kind of a lot of fine tuning stuff that's gonna have to happen after paint, including also these run channels here on the roof that I'll probably just end up plasti dipping or something like that. And that's not even getting into the interior, which is currently stripped because the seats are with the upholstery shop. So long road ahead still for this car, but I'm excited to see where the next road takes us. Replacement door these guys grabbed off the parts car in the salvage yard. Looks like it came with some other stuff like the handle, the glass, the mirror, and the molding, which is cool. But that'll go replace the one that's kind of buggered up here on mine.